In this video, I will show you how to do a basic hardwire for a hardwire panel. The panel we'll be working on today is a Vista P by Honeywell. The first thing you'll need is a screwdriver, the proper resistors that come in with the panel. You'll also need to know the diagram that's on the front cover of the panel and know from which terminals that corresponds with the proper wiring as shown in this diagram. Starting from terminals 1 and 2, that'll be your AC unit. 3 and 4 is your alarm output or to the hardwire siren. 4, 5, and 6, 7 is also to the keypad, and that'll be a 4 wire that runs to that. And then 8, 9, all the way to 20 will be terminals for hardwire zones. And at the very end, you'll have some terminals that you will be hooking up a telephone wire or the RJ block wire to if needed. Let's begin first by just hooking up terminals 1 and 2 for AC power. Some installers may take a 4 wire and twist around 2 of the wires so that you'll get something that looks like that. To wire it up, you just open the terminal, close it with your screwdriver on each ends, and then from there the other end just goes to the transformer, which then can be plugged into a wall outlet when you're ready to power up the panel. The next wire for terminals 3 and 4 is a 2 wire, and according to the diagram, terminal 3, you have to be specific, is going to be your positive end, which universally would be red. Zones 4, 5, 6, and 7 will be for the keypad, and you'll take a 4 wire. Starting with zone 4, you put in the negative end or the black wire. Zone 5 is the positive end or the red wire. Terminal 6 is the green wire, and then terminal 7 is the yellow wire. And of course this end will go back out to the keypad. Okay. To hardwire a zone, you have to take the proper resistor and attach that to one end of the wire, and you begin at terminal 8 and 9, which is for zone 1. You wire in the resistor like so, and then zone 10. For the second zone, you can wire in through terminals 10 and 11. If you're hardwiring something like a motion detector, smoke detector, glass break detector, or another device that needs auxiliary power, you'll have a 4 wire that runs out. Red and black can be designated for auxiliary power, and that can go into terminals 4 and 5. So red being positive would go to red in terminals 5, and then terminal 4 being negative, you can wire the black wire, and then on the other end you would just appropriate which zone for the wire that you need. In this case we'll do zone 3, so that'll be terminals 12 and 13. A little trick you can do on hardwire panels, especially on the Vista 15 here, is if these were the only zones you needed, but then there were other zones that weren't being taken or used yet, in the programming they've already been pre-programmed, but if you wanted to not have them show up as open or false zones, you can take a resistor, as the ones that we've been using earlier, and then just start wiring those into the terminals, and just use the diagram shown earlier to wire them correctly. After you've completed wiring the rest of the zones with those resistors, it'll look something like this. The very last part, if you needed to plug in the telephone connection to a panel, you'll take the RJ wire that looks like this. One end will go into the RJ block, while this end with the wiring will go into these last terminals here, which is terminals 21, 22, 23, and 24. And again, just follow the diagram that's on the cover. Terminal 21 is brown, 22 is gray, 23, 24, that's your tip and ring, that'll be green and red. And again, just make sure you connect that to the RJ block for your telephone line. Last thing I want to mention, of course, you'll see a red and black wire that's soldered to the panel. You'll see a red and black wire soldered to the panel. This is what connects the backup battery. And that right there is how you do a hard wire of a panel.